In early 2026, an influencer named C Shaudi ignited a brutal expose, releasing a relentless 48-hour stream of screenshots that explicitly named some of the biggest icons in the business. This single-handedly threw nearly half of the Chinese entertainment industry into absolute chaos. She claimed to be personally involved in scandals with a long list of A-listers. Think massive names like Lu Han, Lin Gangxin, Tan Jianxi, and Fan Chengcheng. As soon as the news broke, the topics dominated the trending charts, repeatedly crashing Weibo's servers. Netizens stayed up all night tracking every update, eventually driving the story to over 1 billion views. Consequently, PR teams across the industry were forced into overtime, with over 10 major artist studios issuing official denials almost simultaneously. Just 2 days after the bombshell dropped, every single one of her posts mysteriously vanished. Her agency later claimed she was simply delirious due to illness. Shortly after, a wave of cease and desist letters from top-tier artist studios arrived all at once. The storm passed as quickly as it had arrived, appearing very much like a meticulously planned explosion. In this bloodless battle, netizens began to realize that the vulgar, explicit sex scandals were merely the debris floating on the surface. C Shaudi was actually just scratching the surface with her real-life drama. But what exactly is the massive, cold iceberg hidden beneath it all? Is the chaos in the entertainment world truly limited to sleeping around or playing escort? Hey Tracers, Sean here, and welcome back. How are you all holding up amidst the frenzy of today's news? I hope you're all staying calm and keeping your wits about you. Anyway, what we see on the surface is often just a distraction from something much bigger and far darker. Today, we aren't just going to talk about the gossip of who's sleeping with whom. We're going to dissect the system that forces them to do it. A system that preys on dreams and dignity, all for the sake of paper called money. Because you never know how deep this hole goes. Even before the C Shaudi drama could settle, another video began to spread like wildfire. The girl in the video is Yu Shutian, a master's graduate who studied abroad. Instead of dropping loud, cheap gossip, she calmly shared her daily life as an extra on film sets. She recounted that on the set of a short drama, there was a lead actress with powerful insiders or connections. This actress never bothered to memorize her lines. She would simply stare into the lens and recite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 perfectly, leaving everything to be fixed by dubbing in post-production. What's even crazier is that the entire crew was required to play along and support her little performance. Worse still, she personally witnessed a young actress get booted from a production simply because she had the nerve to reject certain signals or hidden invitations. In the middle of a biting, freezing winter, that girl was forced to jump into a river over and over again. Her lips turned blue and her entire body shook violently, but the director, sitting comfortably behind the monitor, only gave cold, nonchalant comments. "I'm not feeling the emotion. Do it again." Can you believe it? In front of everyone watching, she was pressured by the director to plunge into that icy water 18 times. That is the stark reality for countless low-tier actors every single day. Beyond that, she also exposed just how rigid and cruel the hierarchy on set truly is. She revealed that just for being a second late and handing someone a drink, or if your gaze is deemed disrespectful, your entire scene can be wiped clean from the script. As a newcomer, you have zero bargaining power. If anyone dares to refuse, the price is steep. You'll be erased from the industry entirely. She says this isn't just about the bad behavior of one director or producer, it has become a universal rule of the game throughout the industry. If you think this is a new trend, you're dead wrong. Let's wind back the clock and uncover the dark secrets that have haunted even the biggest names in the past. Even Cherry Ying, back when she was just 18, had to face these rules of the game that challenged her morals. At the time, She went to a hotel for an audition, and the assistant director's assistant immediately handed her a bag of cash with incredibly vulgar and blunt conditions. It was the same for Xie early in her career. During an interview for a role, the interviewer suddenly asked for a hug. Both chose to flatly refuse, and of course, there was a price to pay for that decision. Roles vanished, opportunity slipped away. But they were among the lucky ones. At least years later, they achieved stardom and could talk about those bitter experiences as mere memories. Unfortunately, far more people are swallowed whole by this cold, ruthless system the very second they dare to say no. Many insiders actually understand these rules perfectly well, but it's like the elephant in the room. It's glaringly obvious, yet everyone pretends to be blind and deaf. They deliberately look away because this system is tied to massive interests. A single project can involve investments of tens or even hundreds of millions. Who gets the lead role, who gets the supporting part behind it all, is a complex web of relationships and an exchange of favors. To put it bluntly, actors have been turned into mere commodities. While acting skills, image, and experience are just the basic specs, whether they can bring in additional resources or not, that is the most crucial added value. For industry insiders, resources can mean commercial sponsors, connections to powerful people, or even pleasurable services that are too taboo to mention out loud. An anonymous casting director once leaked that sometimes, next to the names on the actor lists he received, there were mysterious symbols. These symbols could only be understood by insiders. To outsiders, they looked like secret codes. Those symbols had nothing to do with artistic talent. They were playing cards in the hands of the big players, each with its own price tag. And the rule makers in this game are none other than the capital investors. When fresh funds flood a project with demands for a lightning-fast return on investment, the quality of the acting and the script eventually take a backseat to traffic and hype. Whoever can bring capital into the project, or whoever has the connections to secure a slot on a streaming platform, becomes the top candidate. In this process, the power of directors and producers becomes limitless, yet at the same time, they are deathly bound to the power of that capital. Consequently, they might also be required to recommend certain individuals to investors to provide special services. Ultimately, a powerful, vicious cycle is formed. The investors control the projects. Those in charge of the projects control the opportunities, and those opportunities hold total control over the fame-hungry artists. Famous comedian Yue Yunpeng once shared a story from his past on a variety show. He saw a female artist being forced to keep drinking alcohol and took the initiative to step in and stop the pressure. But what happened? The very next day, the program crew immediately looked for excuses to fire him. So, you can see for yourself, in a system built by these big money players, even the most basic sense of empathy or conscience is viewed as a nuisance that must be removed. Many young actors dive into the entertainment world carrying a suitcase full of dreams, but halfway through, they slowly realize that the industry isn't that pure. They quickly learn that making those dreams come true comes with a price, and often the price is their own dignity. Years ago, actress Zhang Yu tried to expose all this rot. She even brought recording tapes as evidence. The result? In the face of massive capital and power, the evidence she presented was questioned. Not only that, her character was assassinated. She was labeled a crazy woman by the public until her career was completely destroyed. Her tragic fate serves as the cruelest warning to anyone else, that the price of fighting the system is something no one can afford to pay. Because of these rules, the reality is a state of compromise and mass silence from everyone involved. This silence is exactly what makes the power of investors, directors, and producers in this industry more limitless than ever. The loss of moral values and the destruction of conscience eventually give birth to various irrational incidents that spiral out in many forms. The Chinese short drama Xing Yun recently went viral on social media after exposing a sickening incident on set. The film crew left a baby out in the rain for an incredibly long time. The infant was crying hysterically until its voice went hoarse, yet the production team refused to swap it for a replica or a prop. After the video spread and sparked public outrage, the actress playing Xing Yun vented her frustration, saying, "Short dramas always seem to mistreat women and children like this. Honestly, seeing the behind-the-scenes footage from my assistant again just made my blood boil." She and the actor holding the baby had actually protested multiple times, but the crew insisted on refusing a prop baby for the sake of saving time. Ironically, after the video blew up, a heartbreaking fact surfaced. The baby forced into the rain was only paid approximately $110. This immediately triggered a wave of condemnation from netizens, who slammed the production crew for completely losing their basic sense of humanity. Anyone watching this news would feel absolutely livid, wouldn't they? How on earth could they be that cruel to such a tiny baby? Earlier, I mentioned resources in the Chinese entertainment industry, one of which potentially involves sexual favors. Sexual harassment in this world has become almost a common sight. An insider revealed that some people use the guise of film crew recruitment to target innocent young women. Under the pretext of an audition, they carry out sexual harassment using very subtle methods and smooth talking. Briefly put, they have a polished script to trap their victims. Shooting, a girl from Hangzhou, Zhejiang, personally experienced just how vulgar and blunt these audition traps can be. Once, after seeing a job opening in a chat group, she immediately contacted the recruiter. The first thing the person asked for was a full-body photo of her in tight clothing, short shorts, and high heels. The problem was, Shooting was out of the house at the time, and her outfit didn't match those criteria at all. They didn't just interrogate her on exactly where she was going, but also demanded she return home immediately, change, and send the photos. If not, they threatened she would lose that golden opportunity. After Shooting was forced to send the photos, the person's demands became even more outrageous. Initially, she was told to stand with her back to the camera while wearing high heels, then asked to take photos in a squatting position. As soon as she grew suspicious and started asking questions, the recruiter turned the tables and blamed her. She was accused of disrespecting the interviewer and causing a crisis of trust. After that, under the pretext of needing to select actresses capable of performing squatting scenes, the person kept pressuring Shooting to cooperate, relentlessly giving her various instructions. She was told to put on bright red lipstick, wear stockings, and then sit on the floor facing the camera while posing with a peace sign or forming a V with both hands. Only after that did they move into what they called the acting rehearsal session. The person immediately started a video call and, without beating around the bush, asked her how far she was willing to go with vulgar scenes in front of the camera. Using the excuse of needing romantic scenes, the person began baiting her by asking if she'd be willing to appear in just a bikini or even just underwear. When Shooting refused, the person challenged her, asking, "If you're already this stiff on video, how will you handle being on set in just your underwear? Can you even be flexible?" This experience left her feeling deeply violated. It was only after she shared her story on social media that she realized she wasn't alone. Several extras in Hengdian privately told her that there are indeed specific people who intentionally target young people wanting to be extras just to sexually harass them. Besides harassment under the guise of auditions, the issue of unpaid wages for actors is another rampant rot within this industry. Yu Qingbin, a 42-year-old Chinese actor who starred in dramas like Love in 3 Lifetimes and The Concubines of the Ming Dynasty, recently opened up about his struggles. With acting jobs drying up, he was forced to pivot and work as a food delivery rider just to make ends meet. He also tried his luck in the world of short dramas only to face more misfortune. His salary was withheld for 4 months by a producer. To make matters worse, the producer insulted him, saying, "The more you nag me for it, the more I won't pay you, even though I have the money." Deeply disillusioned, he lamented, "Being an actor is lower than being a dog. Better to be a delivery rider, at least the income is guaranteed." His story quickly became a hot topic among netizens. Yu Qingbin added, "I've done family dramas, spy thrillers, even period pieces. I have plenty of colleagues I'm close with. I used to think this career path would be smooth sailing, but as I get older, the opportunities vanish. Sometimes, more than 6 months go by without a single decent role. Since he wasn't getting any acting offers, he actually spent time as a delivery rider. While doing that job, he didn't feel any shame or like he'd lost status. On the contrary, he found the experience quite fresh and interesting. Every day, wearing a helmet and mask, he'd weave through the streets and narrow alleys in the middle of that hustle. He actually felt a sense of freedom. Even though his body was exhausted, his mind felt more at peace. After that, he moved into short dramas but ended up getting screwed over when a producer withheld his wages. He explained that typically, the payment cycle for a short drama is about 1 to 2 months, which is reasonable. But because this producer kept stalling, Yu Qingbin tried every possible way to collect. Having hit a dead end, he was finally forced to take the matter public to demand his rights. Only then did the other party start paying him in installments. But even now, there's still an outstanding balance that hasn't been cleared, and the producer has since gone dark. According to his information, he isn't the only victim. Several other actors, the lighting crew, and even photographers suffered the same fate with unpaid wages. Yu Qingbin remarked, "The chaos of unpaid wages in the short drama industry is rooted in too many speculators looking for big profits without any capital. They just wing it with a production, and as soon as they get funding from a platform, they take the money and run. After that, they just change their name or identity and they're ready to scam someone else somewhere else." What's worse is that the majority of short drama actors don't have clear contracts. Usually, only the male and female leads sign anything, while supporting actors or specific extras only have verbal promises. So when you want to demand your rights, finding evidence is incredibly hard. If you dare to play hardball about contracts or down payments with a producer, they'll just find someone else. After all, in Hengdian right now, there are hundreds of thousands of short drama actors. The supply is endless. Take your pick. These stories serve as a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of the stage lights, there's an undercurrent that is incredibly filthy and dangerous. Human dignity is often sacrificed on the altar of profit. What do you think, Tracers? Does our entertainment industry still have a hope of being clean, or is this system already too rotten to fix? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to keep supporting this channel so we can continue to guard the truth. If you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.